You're listening to 240 Radio on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Like, take, for instance, we got a show coming up on Friday the 27th at the Teamsters Hall in Chicago, Illinois, a beautiful, beautiful building. And we have already 2 matches signed. We have, for the Resistance Pro Heavyweight Champion, finally the #1 contender, Lonesome Jay Bradley, will face Harry Smith for the Resistance Pro title. And Harry Smith was a weird guy. Let me explain by weird guy. I like Harry. He's a fantastic young man. But I remember when he was made champion, I was just like, oh, he's a good wrestler, I guess, but I don't know how I feel about Harry Smith. Like, in the long run, it's not really like he's really shown a lot of charisma or personality. He went heel 2 shows ago, and it really is like a light switch turning on and off. Like, he basically he's become a fantastic heel, and I'm really excited to see him versus Brad, a guy that was undefeated until he faced the Mastodon Vader 2 shows ago. And then also John Morrison Hennigan, J-Mo, the Shaman of Sexy, facing my good friend, the Ego Robert Anthony, which it should be a very, very good match. So 2 hot matches already announced for what should be a very hot Friday night in Chicago, and I'm really, really excited about it.
I don't want to get anyone in trouble. What happened with Robert Anthony and CZW? Because he said he retired after 1 show, and then I see him working Resistance, or can you not get into that?
Yeah, of course. Why would I sit there? You're not recording this, right?
No.
What happened with Robert was he was at a point with wrestling, and this is just me speaking from talking to him, and that was one of the first things I asked him about, besides, many stories about Cage of Death and Masada. But the main thing he said was he was tired of the grind of going to Philadelphia to work, where he was more about his shoot job, and he just wanted to wrestle just in Chicago. So it was sort of a retirement of, basically sitting there going, okay, I had a WWE developmental deal. I was doing good in CZW, but it's not for me anymore. I'd rather just sit there and stay close to home, which is fine, considering he only works like 1 or 2 groups in Chicago. So that's what happened with him.
If Adam Cole is my favorite wrestler in independence right now, I think Robert Anthony is my second. My next question is, when the boss, Billy Corgan, is around, do you have to tell him that you like the Adore album? Or
dude, I love the Adore record. I cannot sit there. I was in Tinley Park at the World Music Theater in 1997 or 1998 while the Adore record was being released. So I was a huge Pumpkins fan, and it's very interesting working with Billy. So I like Billy. Billy's an odd cat, but I really enjoy working with him and such. He definitely has a grand vision, and he definitely writes very well.
How hands-on is he, and then how much does he let you and other people kind of do what you feel is best? I mean, he's not like Vince McMahon. He's not in your ear while you're doing commentary telling you what to say, is he?
That would be awesome. I really would like him in my ear. No, for the most part, he's very hands-off when it comes to, if there's something that he wants me to get across, I will sit there and go to him before the show. Billy, is there anything that you really want me to get across tonight? But usually in the 28-page manifestos of show notes and such, usually he puts every point very well. And also, I also like to sit there and also add in my little takes and such. He basically is the head of creative, where basically the brothers Barron gives him a talent list, and he basically goes off that. The company itself is run by 2 brothers, Gabe and Jock Barron, who are fantastic guys, and Billy basically is the creative guy, and he definitely allows for maneuverability when it comes to wrestling and some storylines. But for the most part, the product that you see there and the product that you see is mostly Billy. I'm fortunate, though, because I get to I get to talk a lot, which is something I think I do okay in, I guess. But I also get to do a lot of the promos backstage and such, where basically he just basically is like, here you go, this is that's your baby. So, and that I really like. So he's pretty much we're doing this, and this. So And then you're like, cool.
The television show that I've seen posted online, it looks very, very good. It's a lot better product than a lot of independent companies are releasing online. If I want to find out more information about Resistance Pro, where can I go?
Definitely check out resistancepro.com, Alex, and definitely like us on the Facebook, because that's usually where we make match announcements, and that's sometimes even where the talent finds out what's going on for that month. And we have our second television show premieres late Sunday, early Monday on WCIU2 in the Chicagoland area. If you have DirecTV like me, not only do you miss Impact, but you miss me too. But it'll be online the middle of next week. And yeah, definitely the production values in there are great. And really, hats off to Jack Henninger, our video guy, because he does a phenomenal job. So I'm excited. And definitely, if you're looking for a good place to start with Resistance Pro, I would definitely check out the Vicious Circle show, which was show number 3, because I believe it has the Rock and Roll Express on there, which was something to behold live. It also had a fantastic Rhino and Harry Smith match, and then it's just full of goodness. And then also our first event at the new venue in Chicago, the Teamsters Ballroom, a small deadly space, which was a lot of those matches. Some of those matches were showcased on the first TV show, and definitely check out Vader versus Brad in its entirety, the cage match between Rhino and Harry Smith, Mr. 450, a guy that I hope makes a lot of waves, because I definitely enjoy his work and his wonderful Hoovy-like promos, but Hoovy without the little medicine problem, versus the Ego Robert Anthony. And then our last show, Taken by Force, will be out by the time of the next show, which features a really good Robert Anthony versus Brad Bradley. Probably the hardest hitting, most physical match that we've seen in Resistance Pro. Probably my favorite match to call so far. And that's saying something, because I really got to live a dream with Resistance Pro by calling a match with Vader. So I've been able to call a match this year with Vader, with Pac, with guys that I've admired or guys that I've been friends with for a long time that are on to bigger and better things. So really, for me, Resistance Pro is a great place.
And if I want to find out more information about you, Dr. Keith, where can I go?
Probably the best place for me would be my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/ I think it's Keith Lipinski, all one, or it might be Keith.Lipinski. I'm not that hard to find. Twitter, my Twitter handle is Keith Lipinski. I would suggest getting that if you enjoy stories about children, pro wrestling, and running. And those are the main big hot topics, and sometimes music elitism, but not by often. But those would be the main places to find me.
Keith, thank you very much for joining me.
You're listening to 240 Radio on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.